my chapstick is. Well, that's disturbing. Oh. Oh, yes, I found my chopstick. Okay. Let's see. No one's on yet. Okay. All right, I think I got everything. Let's see. My nose is congested. Let's see. Huh. I'm going to start in about 1 minute. So I don't see anybody live in the chat. I'm hoping the chat works. Every now and again it doesn't. I have to restart. Let's start a poll. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy President's Day. Everyone's asleep in my family. The puppy's woke me up and I'm up and I'm congested, but I feel really good. I've had a really good weekend. I'm mostly relaxed. I did a couple of bag making, but not like a whole bunch. I've been doing doing the paperwork and kind of getting things ready for AwesomeCon. Like getting insurance, making sure that the liability insurance also includes the place where I'm going to be exhibiting at, as well as the creators of the event, because the creators of the event are not the owners of the building. So it's like this whole insurance thing you got to do, and getting copies to everyone, fulfilling and making orders, all that fun stuff. Good morning. And that's what I've been doing all weekend. And like it was snowing and now it's not. My allergies are going haywire, but other than that, everything is really, really good. Other than, my day-to-day allergies. So yesterday, Alchemats and Thumbs and Thimbles opened up their pre-order. And every day I'm going to show you one from something that I made for the group. So it'll be rotating. Today will be Alchemats, tomorrow will be Thumbs and Thimbles, so on and so forth. I've made a lot of things, so you'll see a lot of things. But today I'm going to start off with the heart bag the heart handbag. This handbag is made from Sarah Marmy 81. It's from her Patreon account, and I've been waiting for a heart bag. The only other heart bag I've ever made was the Archimedes, and I liked the way the Archimedes was, but I didn't. The Archimedes had one gusset, and then it had a drop in like zipper style, and I wasn't a big fan of that because I'm not the best with that kind. But this bag is the cutest bag I've seen in a long time. There's a lot of details in this bag. Like this says, made from a galaxy far, far away. We have Ahsoka's brand. We have some dark blue rivets, as well as some rose gold hope symbols. For this bag, I did a double chain because I haven't seen anyone do that yet. So I made a double chain, and it's rose gold with cork, and this is cotton, and this is cork, of course. And then when you open it up, you have your zipper pocket, and you have a slip pocket. Now, what I like to do for any client, and as you can tell, it's bound. I like to make another strap just in case like the chain strap digs into their body. They have a secondary one so they can wear the bag more every single day. Yes, if it wasn't for Meryl, I wouldn't have these tags. She is a godsend. So isn't this like the cutest bag ever? It's just too cute. So yeah, with this bag, when I pack this one, because I don't want it to concave in because I use cotton, I would tell you to use, before like presenting it, I had it sit with a warm towel inside so it can definitely get its shape better. And when I'm packing this bag, I will definitely pack like those extra papers or bubble wraps that they give you at Amazon. I usually keep them to stuff bags so that way when I pack them for an event, they don't get squished. I had fun with this bag because I'd never do rose gold, but it totally was like calling for it. So this is the print that is in Alchemats. I put the link to Alchemats pre-order it down below. You do need to have an account in order to see the product. So to create an account, you would need your email address and you would need to create a password, and then you can see all the goodies that they have. You would need to message Lauren and ask her if she has them, and then she can give you a listing. She does have them, but you need to message her prior to buying them because they're not listed on her webpage. Yeah, so Lauren from Mormino. Just message her and then see if she has any. So yes, I absolutely love this. No, this is not the Heartbreaker. I don't own the Heartbreaker. The only other heart bag I own is the Archimedes. And like I said, I like that bag. I made it once, but it has a unique zipper opening. This is from Sarah Marmy 81. She's from Germany. This is from her private Patreon page for the month of February. The minute I seen this bag, I knew I wanted to make it. I am like dying to make another one. I feel like this is the perfect shape bag. The curves are so outrageous. It looks like those little candy hearts that we used to get as kids. I'd be like, oh, I love you, or the little Nico hearts. So this is like one of my favorite bags I made this month. It is just too dang cute for words. And then I love the little details like this, so it just gets a little extra nerdy. I think that this bag might sell hopefully really fast at AwesomeCon because the person who plays Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson, is going to be there, and I'm hoping somebody sees this and is like, oh, I want to take pictures with it. It's amazing. I love the handle on top is just amazing. I used some chunky hardware that I got, and then some blue rivets to match the blue in the fabric. Let's see. Okay, so then this is about to get packed out and sent out via FedEx. Like I told you guys, I make a lot of park sling bags, especially for college people or people that tailgate. This is the park sling, and I made it in Michigan, Michigan colors. When you open it up, You have the Michigan fabric. You have a mesh pocket, a slip pocket. When you open up the second zipper, again, you have the Michigan fabric. You have a zipper pocket, and you have a keychain holder. On the back, you have another Michigan symbol, so that when you wear it, you have Michigan all the way around. Um, this is, I guess if I was to say the bag that I make the most, it would be the Erica Bowler bag and this bag. I feel like they're my specialty at this point because I don't, I don't need any measurements. I know exactly all the measurements. I don't need any instructions. I've made it so many times that I know exactly what I need and I just start cutting it out. Um, yes, so I make a lot of these. The other one I'm about to do is a Chelsea one and then another Texas one. Um, People really like these park slings that I make, so I make them a lot. A lot. I'm actually thinking about making one for the convention to see how it would look with like possibly fabric like this. I think it will look really cool if I have half of it orange and half of it blue with dashes of Ahsoka print on it. So we shall see if I do that. Let's see. No, the embroidery patches, you could buy the designs on Etsy. Thank you. I embroidered them separately and then I sewed them on. So as you can see, I sewed it on, oops, in the back here. So that I do it separately just because I'm fussy about the placement. If you ever look at any of my bags, the placements are different. It depends on how they are. Like normally if it's more circular or oval, I like to actually have them higher up so that way when they're on the bag, they're kind of centered right here. So it all depends on the shape of the patch. So that's why I would embroider it separately on its own like a patch and then put it on once I have the front in front of me to figure out where exactly I want to center it. The Parksley is from Sarah Lawson. Hopefully one day, I know in 2025 I'll probably do retreats. Maybe that'll be a bag that I teach at a retreat is the park sling. It would need to be a longer retreat, like a 2 or 3 day retreat, because there is a part that apparently gets everybody tied up when I don't even bat an eye on it. But when I watch people trying to make it or they ask me questions about it, it's just one particular thing. And once you understand it, nothing will, the rest of the bag is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. What's a simple project you recommend for a total newbie with a vintage domestic sewing machine? Any pattern. You most of these designers out here don't have industrial machines. That's the fun about it. Like I test for a lot of people. If you like lavender and twine, she's on a domestic machine. If you like Ora Rosa, she's on a domestic machine. All of Swoon you could be done on a domestic machine. All of Patterns by Mrs. H could be done. Any Crafty Gemini could be done on a domestic machine. Country Cow, she goes on a domestic machine, but her husband does it on an industrial. So like there are all these designers, most of these designers out here sew on a domestic machine. It's actually kind of rare for me to see someone that sews on an industrial that's also a designer. Most of them don't. It's very rare. You have like Sincerely Jen, Lauren, and I guess Kasaya now too, because she just came out with the pattern. But most of these people sew with a domestic. It's very rare to see a bag that is meant only for an industrial machine nowadays. So I sewed Leslie's fundamental bag on my quote unquote domestic Juki, and it was easy peasy. It all depends on what material. So if I was going to tell you to start with a bag, I would actually tell you to do the fundamental tote because it's actually a very satisfying make. One, there's not a lot of components into it. Two, the instructions are really well. And three, I believe she just added an add-on where you can have the middle divider. So if you just want to start off with something simple, get the regular fundamental tote. And then from there you can um, get the add-on and then learn how to modify to have a middle zipper. I feel like the fundamental tote will be really good. Any pattern from Sarah Lawson, you're golden. She walks you through it step by step through video. Same with Crafty Gemini. There's not a pattern designer I would not recommend to you. There are so many beginner, domestic machine friendly patterns out there. And there's so many free ones too. And there's free patterns on Swoon. The one I just did, the Dakota, is free. It's absolutely 100% free, and you can do that on a domestic machine with your eyes closed. There's no the fundamental tote is by Jolie Creations. Virginia, are you on here? She's because I don't see because I'm trying to see if I can get someone to put the link because I don't know if I can do that at the same time. Hold on. Does it? I don't know if I can add anything. That's the only thing that sucks. Okay, I'm going to be getting my tablet soon, guys. So you guys you'll start seeing me be able to add stuff to it. Leslie, let's see, where is Leslie? I love the persimmon pouch. That's like one of my favorite pouches. Okay, hold on, Leslie. I'm adding you as a moderator real quick. Let's do this. Okay, Leslie, can you put your link? So yeah, the fundamental totes by Jolie Creations, and I always say it wrong. I want to go see. I want to do it like when I first found out about Leslie's thing. I automatically had Jolie stuck by Dolly Parton stuck in my head. So I would just sing Jolie. So I thought it was Jolie Lee, like if as if though you were singing the song. No, Jolie. I don't know if Leslie's still on here. If not, if she's still not on here, what I'll do is when I'm done with here, I'll put the it in my description so you can just go back in there and look at it. Yeah, that's Rosemary has it right. I don't know if Leslie's still on here or not. But if she is, then she could put her link in here. I feel like her fundamental tote is perfect because you don't have to, you're not sewing a base. The base comes together with like folding versus you trying to put a circle or a square base or a rectangle base on. So for beginners, I think having a boxy corner where the base is just you folding it into the corners of the box is easier than installing a whole entire base. And that's just my personal thoughts as teaching. Like whenever I teach, I try to teach a bag that has more boxy corners than actually installing a bag at bottom at itself because it could be more difficult for some to align everything. Annie's free pouch is really amazing too. And Annie also has a project pack, which I think is free if I'm not mistaken. And you deal with different materials. Like you could either use clear or her mesh, and it could become a project bag, similar to like the project bags I have beside me. Like I have a lot of these are not hers, but it's a zipper with like a mesh thing, and you can put a project in it. So that way your project all stays together when you need to. I use a lot of project bags. I have project bags literally everywhere. I didn't say your name. So yeah, that's so yeah, that I did that. That's what I did today. I'm gonna be making another park sling tote, maybe, and maybe not. I might just be cutting out my project for tomorrow. We have a I get that a lot. I'm gonna ask my daughter if there has some meaning behind it because she's like the be all know all of TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. So yeah, this is weird. I don't make hearts. I can show here. I literally made a heart. Okay. So oh, your name is like Farrah Darling. So yeah, they are out today. Christina's on it. Christina's like, I I am not playing around. So yeah, I might take today off and just cut out my Patreon bag. We're doing the exterior of the Tuesday tote tomorrow at noon. So I might cut that out and then cut out the project for the bag for the other one for the because I just feel like no, I don't know. I don't make any patterns. I test for people, but I'm not that talented enough to make patterns. That's a great skill set that I wish I had. I can modify if you give me a pattern. I can yes, yes, Rosemary. It's Sarah's. I keep trying to make sure everybody knows this is Sarah's bag. And how you could tell it's Sarah's bag, it's a little bit smaller than I think the Heartbreaker is, as well as the curves are deeper. Because the curves are deeper, you can get a very, really good non-sunk. You see how mine is not sunken in? She's talented. There's anybody could put a square together, right? But a person that knows how to put a square together to make your corners poke out and not sunken in, that's the person you need to pay attention to because there is a certain, like an architect. There are certain things that they know by by deviating a degree of the slant or curve or whatever can make it your heart more pronounced. I am not the best at making hearts, but I feel like this heart is super pronounced. It's not sunken in into any of the corners, and that happens a lot when it comes down to binding. It's because of the shape of the bag. How she shaped the heart is the reason why you don't see it sunken in. If that makes sense, because go look at some people's heart. There's a couple heart patterns, but look at them and you'll see like they're sunken in, and you're trying to figure out the why is the seam like sinking, like grabbing and making it sink in. It's because of the architect of the bag. You can make it, like I said, you can make a perfect round circle. You can make a perfect square. It's the ones that know how to make the object a little bit shaped funnier so that way that the seams don't get collapsed in on itself and it protrudes out. So that is what I like. So no, I can't translate, unfortunately. I'm sorry. There's no. So how did you interface it? Oh yeah, I don't ever follow interfacing rules. I'm really bad at that. Only when I'm testing do I follow interface rules because you guys are gonna ask. For this one, I used Bouncy Firm and um Heat and Bond. I'm trying to look at it. It's like something Fuse Plus. It's like their version of So Fuse, and that's how I got this because this is canvas. So, oh, and then I put the Heat and Bond on here. But nothing too drastic. I didn't use any Decaville light or heavy because Decaville light and heavy, if you don't let it cure, it can crinkle when you try to turn. And because this is such an awkward thing to flip out, I wasn't going to chance it. I stuck to Bouncy Firm from Serial Bag Maker. I've never had any crinkles with it. And then Heat and Bond. No foam on this one. Actually, I'm out of foam. I'm gonna have to buy a roll of foam when I come back from uh I can't talk today. Awesome Con. I'm out of foam. I'm completely out of foam. Thank you, Rosemary. Yep. You're absolutely right. Google Translate is super easy to use. Thank you, Lynette. The I didn't buy the heartback pattern is part of a Patreon group from Sarah Marmee 81. She has her own Patreon. You pay $10 a month and she creates a new pattern, and she also gives you seamless files in case you want to print some of her designs, which your girl's going to be doing that in March. I She has like the prettiest like prints I have seen in a long time. They're like stunning. Like one of them she has out right now. It's like a milky red and pink, and it's kind of like merged together. Like they're like it's like ocean and waves. I so want to have like a silk blouse that like can kind of tie up like like something old school where they had like where they would wear the Daisy Dukes. They would have a jean shirt, that t-shirt that ties up. I want a tie-up shirt, not showing my midriff because that would scare everybody to death. But just something that style with like a pair of high-waisted jeans would be so cute. I think of fashion a lot. I like clothes too, if you guys don't know. But yeah, so she comes out with a different pattern each month, and you can't. She has like one pattern you could buy on Etsy, but all her other patterns are strictly just for Patreon, and the videos are on Patreon. Everything's at Patreon. I'll put her information in the description box when I'm off of here as well. Yeah, Karen, I try to get everybody on Bouncy Firm. There's two. Both of them are amazing. It just doesn't wrinkle. It's very thin. So I feel like it works for every kind of object. I prefer it over fleece, and I kind of sometimes prefer it over foam. Except the when I'm making a Betty Bowler, because the Betty Bowler is shaped like a weird like camper style where it's like the U comes in and there's like two heavy bottoms. If you use a bouncy firm on there, what happens is this top part becomes so light that the seams automatically start rolling in. Again, the anatomy of bags and knowing how to use the right um interfacing and stuff like that is very pivotal to make something pronounced where your bag's not sunken in. So these two have this looks weird. These two have a hard thing. So if when you use something lighter, they roll in. So the foam actually gives it something to make the bag pop out versus sunken in. Oh, Christine, yeah, Christine's right. Leslie, if you're able to I'll put Jolie, if no one knows how to put Jolie's information in, I'll put it in the description box when I'm done with the video. Yes, that the Tyrex one is the Archimedes, I think. I've made that one. I love that one. The only thing I wish is it opened up like this. The Archimedes, this is all one gusset. You cut in a hole on the top part, and then then you're able to open it up like that. Like it's constructed really cool. It's a very interesting bag. I feel like that bag is a no-fail heart because the fact that it is one gusset. It's not two gussets for a zipper. You cut in a zipper in the gusset. So it's a very intriguing. I have made the Archimedes a while a while ago. It was a Shearer bag. And amazingly, it was like the first bag that sold at that convention. People absolutely love the way that one came out. Yes, her prints on IG are amazing. So a part of being in her Patreon is she's giving you the files so you can print them. And I'm like, I'm about to print some like really cool stuff with her cotton, or she also gives you information of places that you can get it printed at, and she gets hers printed for waterproof canvas and all that great jazz. I really love the fact that she offers that. Like I like Patreon. I know I've heard there are some people kind of upset that a lot of creators are going there. And to this I say is that creators are teachers, right? Teachers love to teach. Don't get me wrong, this is why I do YouTube, because I could teach you how to make complicated bags for free. What my Patreon does is that I had so many people getting upset at me that I would teach modifications and not the class and how it's presented in the book itself, that I decided to make my YouTube to be not modified. Everything is original, how that is in the pattern. Then I started getting questions about people saying that they wanted private lessons on how to learn how to modify. And that's how I became my Patreon. My Patreon is about how we could take a regular bag and create it into something different that is not out there. And that is the whole point of it. And for me to teach you different skill sets to make you think outside the box. And hopefully at the end of the project, your mind is starting to expand. It's like I offered you like two pills like Neo. Like you can choose the blue pill or you can choose the red. And you get to expand and have fun, as well as it's a nice community where I think everyone in the Patreon is starting to know each other well better, and we're all like bouncing ideas off of each other. And I've never had a month where a person's like upset that we didn't pick their bag to modify it. Everything's done by a poll. It's just a little bit more easier. I actually have more fun doing videos on Patreon because they're live and I can talk to people than taping something, because when I'm taping something, I'm following everything by a book. And all I'm trying to do is make sure I don't mess up so that I can help you out. So the best thing I can do is make a bag ahead of time, figure out where I think is more complicated, and then I put that on my YouTube channel. So different people have Patreon for different things. Patreon is exactly what it is. Patreon, back in the days, people would have like hire patrons so they can do things for them because they support their arts, and that's exactly what Patreon is, which I find funny when people are complaining about it. I'm like, man, then you hate history, because as far as back there's been keen gestures and royalty, there's always been patrons of music, of dance, of art, of writing, and some higher up supports them so that way they can continue to make that art to make the world a better place. So just throwing that out there. A little history. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, Sandra, can you put Jolie's? Oh, Christ, Lynette already did it. Thank you. Cereal bag maker. I mentioned Bouncy Farm a couple times. Just cereal bag maker. Good morning. I'm off to a sleepy start. Everyone's asleep. I got this really cool pillow, and it's for your neck. See, I sleep with like a bazillion pillows, and it's apparently really bad for your neck. And I have like bone spurs in my neck, so the doctor recommended this pillow that has water that you put on the bottom. And all like last night, I was having a field day because when I was little, I had family members that had water beds, and I used to love being in them because you're like moving and stuff. Well, your head is like cradled. I have the best night's sleep I've had in a long time, and I did not wake up with a headache this morning. And I'm freaking out about it. So I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm gonna wait a month to see how it works. But I hate sleeping on just one pillow versus like the 20 I sleep on. That was hard. That was a big girl step for me yesterday. Zero bag maker. Thank you, Lynette. Yeah. I'm glad for the moderators too. The moderators are a blessing because they're on it. They're just on it. Every single last one of them. Sometimes it's like well my daughter said, if you don't have like trolls on your live, then you're not living. Yes, they actually have them at the PA, the physical therapy, and at chiropractors, and at some doctors' offices. They have these pillows, and they're like foam cushion and all this other stuff on top. And then there is a sack in the bottom that has like this you put this funnel in, and you can either do 1 liter, 2 liters, or 3 liters of water for soft, medium, or firm. And I did medium, and it was okay sleep. I don't have a headache like I normally do. I am tired, but I went to bed incredibly late last night, like window shopping. I was looking at summer's fashions for bags and clothes. This is how I get ideas about how I want to design bags. I was looking at fall's bags, like Coach already has like fall's bags, and Uggs has fall's bags. So I'm looking at their bags to see what is different, what kind of materials are, and I'm writing down in my journal. And next thing I knew, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what the hell? Like, so I do that a lot too. If I'm not doing correspondence, I am like deep diving into fashion. So, and then I'm looking at what patterns McCall's coming out for, the big four coming out for summer, things like that. And they actually have some bag patterns coming out. So that's interesting. They have Games of Thrones fabrics. It just comes and goes. When you have groups like this, you have to be on it and pay attention, like because they do have it. It's just when they have it available. Because two rounds ago um they had Games of Thrones. They had the one is that it's out right now. I always forget the name of it. The one with the Targaryens. They had all of those had those out. They had Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. You have to be a part of it. They don't have the fabric year round. It's for a pre-order for a set period of time. Like this is until March 9th, and then it'll take 3 months to get, and sometimes they'll have retail, sometimes they don't. So just be on it. I try to tell you ahead of time when they have retail or whatever. So right now it's this. Tomorrow I'm going to show you some really cool stuff from Thumbs and Thimbles. Both of them have Lords of the Ring. Both of them have Star Wars, but they're vastly different, and I like both of them tremendously. It's hard. If somebody was like, "Who's your favorite Alchemats or Thumbs and Thimbles?" It would be like trying to pick my favorite kid. It's impossible. It's impossible. Both women are incredibly talented. House of Dragon, love you because you knew that. In the morning, like words escape me. So, yeah, so you just and then this group is really helpful. If there's something, if you put it out there, hey, I'm looking for Games of Thrones. If somebody knows a creator that has Games of Thrones, write the name out so that that person could help. You could help that person out because they may be making this for their father, brother, sister, themselves, whatever. You never know. Just help each other out. This is no gatekeeping community, okay? Um, I'm like my face is turning itching because okay, I'm not supposed to eat pineapple, but I've been eating pineapple the last 2 days, and all I've been getting is hives and like geographic tongue. I don't care. The pineapple is so good that I'm willing to slap someone's mom for it. I didn't say my mom, so mom, you can't come at me. I said someone's mom. It is. I don't know where this pineapple batch came from, but holy hell, it's like crispy, like you're biting into an apple, and then this explosion of juice. And I'm just like, yes, it's worth it. And he's like, you're literally ripping off your face. I'm like, I don't care. It tastes so good. I would do the same thing if I was allergic to seafood. I just want you to know. I do carry Benadryl or EpiPen with me at all times because I'm allergic to stupid stuff. Okay. Like Hawaiian bread. Hawaiian bread has like pineapple juice in it, but I'll eat it and then all of a sudden I'll be like, my throat is irritating me, and you'll be like, Genova. Why would I be allergic to something that I like so much? I'm just saying. All right. So I am going to head off and yeah, the purse on Dooney and Burke's next bag. I noticed that too. Yves Saint Laurent, their feet are screws. Like they look like the nuts and bolts that you get good at like Lowe's or Home Depot. And I was like, these are pretty hot. So look at these things because this is how people like fashion. Obviously, it's the biggest industry that we have. Um, Use it and embrace it into your bag making. Oh, thank you. I'm all about the nerdy bags. I know. What a busy Monday. Hey, Diane. So, go. Oh my God. Congratulations, Meryl. Have fun with your 1541S. Oh, 1541. I know, they do. Okay, so, like, there's this whole thing that says, like, "Hey, your allergies change every 7 years." No, I've been allergic to pineapple since the day I was born. So, Disneyland in California has an emergency room. How do I know this? When I was 1 years old, my mom and my dad took me over there, and I guess that there was some kind of treat that had pineapple in it, and you know how, like, when babies are 1 years old, you let them drink everything, and it was the '80s. They probably thought giving me a beer was okay back then. I don't know. So I drink it. I go into shock, and I don't remember any of this. It's my dad and my mom who's telling me this. And then there is an emergency room for inside Disney, and they're giving me like EpiPens, Benadryl, and then was in the hospital for a while. So everybody always just had me away from fruit. So certain fruit. Um, then I went to a party, it was a luau, and I was, like, 14, and they had a lot of mango, had another, shock. So, like, a lot of tropical fruits I can't have, and it sucks, and I know I normally don't tip fate like this, but there's just been ever since I've been working out, I have been having a craving for pineapple. No, I'm not pregnant, there's, like, no way I could be pregnant, like, ever. I have no uterus. Okay, so but, um, I just have this craving, and then I was talking to one of the physical therapists about it, and they said that sometimes our body craves things because it knows it needs something, and that pineapple is an anti-inflammatory. So they said that I might be like ripping or tearing or getting swollen from the workouts that I'm doing, and my body wants me to eat this to help reduce inflammatory so I can heal faster. And I was like, oh, okay, but it's like someone that has an iron deficiency that's like craving meat or what have you. It's the same thing. My body is like craving these really big tropical fruits, which usually have the highest anti-inflammatory thing you could take all naturally, you know. Yeah, let's see. I'm glad. I'm all these people got these getting these big machines. I'm like super excited because they're fun to play around with. Just take your time. You got to get used to your machine, and then you'll be like a boss. All right, I'm going to go cuddle in with my family because everyone's asleep. Probably not Loki, and and then I'm going to sew the rest of the day, I think. So I will talk to y'all later, and I hope everyone has a really good Monday and you're able to do whatever you want to do, whether it is a goal or just Netflix and chill. Do what you got to do, okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye.